right, we're live. All right, guys. Sorry for the late. I had some technical difficulties. Okay, because I was streaming earlier on in the day too, around like what was the time? Around 11 o'clock, and the equipment just overheat because I'm in Canada. Canada is hot right now, and the AC was not on. You know, so the equipment got overheated. But let's get right into it, man.
This story contains graphic content, including references to sexual assault.
Amazing.
Your discretion is advised.
On this edition of the Fifth Estate, for over half a century, Hockey Canada was a source of Canadian pride. Protector of our national sport, winning world championships and Olympic gold for our men and women alike. But in recent years, behind the scenes, something went terribly wrong.
It seems to me that Hockey Canada gave a masterclass in what not to do in these kinds of situations.
Amazing.
It's one of the worst.
Okay, guys, so just to brief you on this case, it's a bunch of hockey players. I thought it was 5 players, but I was doing a video earlier and I get to understand that it was actually 8 players that apparently sexual assault a female called EM after, you know, they were celebrating out at a Jack Astor. You know, things got out of hand. They went to the room and then everything just happened. So it's crazy. So stay tuned for this video because it's going to be a crazy breakdown. And if you haven't noticed, I'm wearing July Just Feels White because it's July, man. It's White History Month, especially in America and Canada, because we have to celebrate the people that have made it possible for these countries to thrive and give us the opportunity, especially if you're an immigrant, to come here and make something of it, but not hate these white people because you're in now one of the greatest country on earth. Even though Canada is still a great country and it's going down the hill because of the people that are voting these crazy people in, right? It's still one of the best countries, no matter how you put it, right? And the US, man. Shout out to Trump, man. And shout out to the liberals. Shout out to everyone, right? But you get what you vote for, right? I didn't vote, right? So just a heads up, vote for people that want to make the country better, not in that want to be in government and politics for their own endeavor and to use the people and to control them to get what they want. Be aware of that because there's a lot of people like that, right? Well, let's continue this video.
Worst cases of governance I've seen in the last 25 or 30 years.
Amazing.
And now the Minister of Sport has had enough.
I think this is a breaking point for hockey. I really feel like hockey, as it is in danger.
It's the Canadian scandal that won't go away.
Mr. Smith?
Police say they have reasonable grounds to believe that 5 members of the 2018 junior hockey committed sexual assault in that hotel room that night.
Amazing. Let's get into it, man.
In Toronto.
Bob.
Our first episode of The Fifth Estate this season, we reported on shocking allegations of a group sexual assault in London.
Oh, this documentary that we were actually listening to, it was 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago.
Ontario, by some of the Team Canada hockey players who'd won the 2018 World Junior Championship. The question we asked then was, how could this happen? Well, now there are other questions. What did Hockey Canada know about a pattern of alleged group rape in Canadian junior hockey? What did they do about it? And why did it take so long to hold them accountable? This is The Fifth Estate. The story starts here, at Jack's Pub in London in June 2018. When members of Canada's national junior team arrived to celebrate after a Hockey Canada fundraiser. Jack's is London's go-to place for cheap drinks and a dance floor packed with late teens and 20-something.
Amazing.
And what's alleged to have happened next would trigger a national scandal, a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, and a crisis unlike any that hockey has known. The plaintiff in the case is a female in her 20s. EM, she's called in court documents. The defendants are Hockey Canada and 8 of its players, known as John Does 1 through 8. In our original episode, Through Legal Documents, interview.
I thought it was John Doe, but he said the caption said John Does. I don't know. Let me know.
And text messages to and from some of those involved, we pieced together a glimpse of what allegedly unfolded that night. The statement of claim is in EM's words. She alleges John Doe number 1 and his teammates bought her a number of alcoholic beverages and shots. She became increasingly intoxicated throughout the night, with glassy eyes, slurred speech, stumbling, and loss of balance. And recently, there's something else.
A couple of months ago now, I got a tip that what's called an ITO had been filed with the London courthouse.
ITO is short for Information to Obtain, essentially a police application for a search warrant. Investigative reporter Robin Doolittle of the Globe and Mail learned about an ITO that laid out what police believe happened that night in 2018.
What's really significant about this document is it's the first time we've got a sense of what happened that night from the player's perspective.
According to that document, in addition to the hockey players, there was someone else at the bar that night who was also buying rounds for the players and EM.
His initials are MM, and he's said to have been buying drinks for the players, and he encouraged her at one point, go take care of him, referring to one of the players.
I mean, that's such a broad spectrum of saying go and take care of him. What does that mean? Go and be around him, go and have sex with him, go and have a good night with him. What does that even mean? I don't know. I don't want to assume, man. But let's continue. But since we paused the video here, we want to take a time to reflect on in the first part of the video, they say the hockey players were buying EM drink, and then this, what did they initially call him? MS or M&M? Something like that, right? Whatever his initials are. Yeah, MM was seen buying them drinks as well and referring to go take care of him. At any point, she can say, I don't want any more drinks, because it's her responsibility to be aware of herself, right? So this is the thing I don't get. Women want the right that man has, but not the accountability that it comes with, right? It's like the man has the right and he has the accountability, but in this case, if a female is drunk and you went and have sex with her and she regretted it, you're gonna held accountable for it, which sometimes makes no sense whatsoever. Because if a woman is drunk and she's driving the car and she kills someone, she's gonna be held liable for it or accountable for it. Or if she's pregnant and she drinks and drive and get in a car accident or hurt anyone, especially if the baby's inside of her died, she's gonna be charged with manslaughter, right? Or baby slaughter, whatever they want to call it. She's gonna be held accountable for it. So it's just funny when the man is in this situation. Society sees you as a leader. Society sees you as the man. Society gives you the accountability, but yet it gives women the accountability and the same rights as well, but don't hold them liable or accountable for their own actions. So this is a lesson learned. I'm not saying what they're saying did happen or they did or did not. I'm just pointing out a fact here, like, man, you're responsible. If you're going and drinking, have a good time with your buddies. Don't be looking for a girl and trying to do anything with her, because you can do it with her and then she end up the next day regretting it. She might give consensual sex there, but then people find out about it and she can hold it against you. And we know the courts, they're not set up in your favor. They're set up against you because it's a womanly society. It's not a patriarchal society, actually, when you look at it. Because a lot of men are being controlled by women, right? But let's continue the video. I mean, probably went in a little bit of rant there, but
MM could be seen in photos posted on Jack's Facebook page, but removed after we used them in our original story. As described by Ian, he was older and apparently in a hockey-related profession.
amazing.
Do you know more now?
He's a senior employee at Nike Canada. I think there's a lot of questions. This is a person who was there in this moment with all of these players and EM at the bar.
There's no suggestion that MM had anything to do with what happened after EM and player number 1 left the bar that night. It's agreed that on the evening in question they left together, then had consensual sex in his hotel room. It's what happened next that's in dispute.
From EM's perspective, when they are done, he is on his phone and she, assumes he is texting. And shortly after, 2 players arrive. And she goes to the bathroom and comes back out, and there are, she says, as many as 8 players in the room at this point. One of the text messages basically says the player texted his team and says, "Does anyone want," and then it says sex act, and a player responds, "Yes," and that there's a woman in my room who is interested in sexual activity.
Remember what was said. He said, "There's a woman in my room that is interested in sexual activity." Because I found another clip somewhere that is not in this that talks about different stuff. I will include it, but just remember that, right?
But what EM describes in that moment is something quite different. In her statement to the police, she says what happened to her in that hotel room was premeditated, violent,
Amazing.
and degrading.
She describes in her statement with police that they're instructing her to get on the floor, that she didn't want to be on the floor, that they put a sheet down, and that yes, the players were all discussing her and what they were wanting to do or doing, but not speaking to her.
They also slapped her on the behind to the point that it caused her pain, and she told them to stop. I mean, it sounds like a very coercive and abusive experience that she was subjected to.
So wait, they slapped her on her behind. So she just stood there and took the hits? I'm confused. Did they tie her down? Could she not sit down in a chair or something? Like, I'm just confused at this point. Like, did they held her down?
We asked law professor Melanie Randall of Western University in London, an expert on sexual
Allegedly.
assault, to interpret EM's version of events.
It makes sense that in a situation like that, when you feel under threat, when you feel stressed, when you feel that the threat of violation is imminent, that you would just try to get through it.
So is she saying that because the violence is there and you're under stress to do something, you should do it? You don't have to do it. Even if there's a gun pointed to your head, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You know? And there was no gun in this situation. Right? So did she had to do what they wanted her to do? No, she didn't. And you're going to use stress and emotion to say, oh, I was under stress, duress, and the violence was real. Did she say violence? Let's go back, because I don't want to misquote this female.
It sounds like a very coercive and abusive experience that she was subjected to.
We asked law professor Melanie Randall of Western University in London, an expert on sexual assault, to interpret EM's version of events.
It makes sense that in a situation like that, when you feel under threat, when you feel stressed, when you feel that the threat of violation is imminent, that you would just try to get through it.
the threat of violation. I mean, her like it doesn't give her no excuse to do something that she doesn't want to do in my book, right? Even if you're under stress from people, that's called peer pressure. Like you're in school and your friends are doing something and they're pressuring you to do it. You don't have to do it. You willingly did it because you wanted to, right?
And the documents shed more light on what police say EM was thinking while in the room. First with John Doe, or player number 1, then with his teammates as well.
What was interesting is in the document, she talks about the size of the hotel room. She discusses many times feeling like she can't get to the door safely, that it's being blocked. And the size of the hotel room, I think, with these players in it, is going to be important to provide the context.
And there's a reference to the written statement EM later gave to police. According to the officer, she said, "I didn't want to do what they were making me do." She also described trying to leave on multiple occasions.
Okay.
That the exit to the unit was blocked. She described crying. She explained that she needed to retreat to the bathroom to get away on multiple occasions. She was unable to say no. Throughout the encounter, she felt disassociated from everything.
Imagine
That's kind of crazy though, right? Let me hear what this woman has to say actually.
being a young woman in a crowded hotel room
No, I will not imagine.
with a group of strapping young men who are athletes, who are much bigger. The general public don't understand. They just think, why didn't you fight back? Why didn't you say no? Why didn't you get the hell out of there? She described why she didn't. It was a very stressful, very frightening experience that should never have happened.
Okay, amazing. Let's touch on some context here, right? She didn't want to do what they wanted her to do, apparently, right? She tried to leave multiple times, but the players apparently they're big, they're strapping, they're hockey players, so they're tall, they're massive, or whatever she wants to claim they were, right? You leave and go to the bathroom multiple times to escape what you're telling us that happened. Before it even happened, you tried to escape. You went to the bathroom. If you didn't want to do what they wanted you to do, could you not have screamed? Because it's a hotel room, you think people will hear you scream that you're being raped or whatever, right? Or call for help. That didn't cross your mind. Apparently not. Okay, fair enough. But it's kind of funny to me, right? Next thing, you didn't have your phone, or was your phone dead? You went to the bathroom multiple times. You could have bring your phone with you, or brought your phone with you, call the cops, call your mother, send a text message or something. But let's say your phone is dead. Your phone wasn't charged. You're not allowed to take it to the bathroom with you because they're restricting you. I don't know, right? I don't know. I'm just saying, right? Even though you can't take any of those things to the bathroom with you, why could you not go into the bathroom and lock yourself in the bathroom till the next morning to not be able to do what they want you to do? I'm just saying here, man. I'm just saying, right? Maybe she was too intoxicated to do all of these things. But wait, more is coming. Because I kind of see some part of this earlier. Because I was doing the live when the stream shut down.
And there also were the so-called consent videos taken of EM by player number 1 that night. TSN senior reporter Rick Westhead, who first broke this story, is one of few who've seen the videos. The videos you were shown, describe them, please.
Well, one of the videos was about 6 seconds in length. It was very grainy. It was clear that it had been shot on a cell phone. And the video showed a woman, and she was being asked if it was okay, and she said, "It's okay," and that was it.
Amazing.